Fortunate to have with us this morning to talk about Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Middle Tennessee, the CEO of Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Middle Tennessee, Mr. Lowell Perry. I got it straight. Lowell Perry. Yeah. How are you doing this morning, Mr. Perry?
I'm fabulous,
and let me welcome you to the show and tell you how delighted we are to have you with us this morning, and especially to talk about Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Nashville. I think I have to admit that we had an opportunity to see you on another show, and the information that you gave was so impressive that we decided that this would be an opportunity for us to talk about Big Brothers and Big Sisters and have you to come by and to give us some information. Why don't you take the first segment of this show, Mr. Perry, to talk about your background, your education, and some of the things that eventually led you to the CEO, in a real sense, of Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Middle Tennessee, and then we'll talk about other things.
Okay. Well, Dr. Haney, again, thank you for having me on, and it's always a pleasure to come out and talk about the organization and all. And I'll give you a little bit of a background on me. I actually grew up in Detroit, Michigan. Lived here in the Nashville area for almost 8 years now. This is really home. My wife and I made a quality of life decision to move down here and love it. I'm a graduate of Yale University, where actually I had my first experience with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, where I was a big brother while I was a college student there, and was forever touched by that experience. I think I bring a really unique background to this thing. I've never been involved in the social profit sector before, and some people call it nonprofit. I don't particularly like that term, but this is the first time that I've ever been involved in it. I've done things from running a manufacturing company for a number of years, had my own marketing company. I actually worked in professional sports for almost 9 years. I was with the Seattle Seahawks organization in the front office, and then spent a year with the Mariners as well. I guess that was pretty appropriate given the fact that my dad, Lowell Sr., was a former professional football player of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and actually was the first black head coach in the NFL of the modern era in 1957 when the Steelers made him a receivers coach. So, kind of followed that track along, and combined all of the business and some of the things that I learned educationally, and I see now that I was being prepared for this point in time to run this organization, because I've utilized everything that I do personally, professionally. My hobby is acting. Been a number of movies, television shows, commercials, and so forth, and I still do that from time to time. But it's taken every one of those skill sets with this organization. And so it's been a great challenge for me. Literally, it came along at a time in my life when I was looking to do something more significant. And my wife, Kathy, was looking through a Sunday Tennessean one day, and she saw this ad for CEO Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Middle Tennessee. She read the job description. She says, "Wow, honey, this sounds like you." I said, "You know what? This is me."
That's good.
Yeah, these people be nuts not to hire me. You know, right. So, and I told the board that during our interview process that I thought I was bringing a unique set of skills, that they could certainly find somebody that could come in and do a good job, but wouldn't find anybody like me, because I felt a calling to be here. It has been a real blessing to me in many respects. It's stretched me to the limits as a professional, as a manager, and just the passion for kids that I've always had. It's just been a real thrill. So that kind of,
Well, now, over the last minute or so before the end of this segment, what is the Big Brothers and Big Sisters organization about? I mean, when was that established?
Yeah, well, Big Brothers Big Sisters has been around for over 100 years. It was formed originally in Philadelphia when a group of businessmen decided that there were some problems with delinquency among young boys in particular. Here in Middle Tennessee, it was formerly known as Buddies of Nashville, and we celebrated our 40th anniversary last year.
Okay, so this is the old Buddies of Nashville. I've heard of that organization.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we match a caring adult with a vulnerable young person with a mentor. and not a surrogate parent, but somebody that becomes a part of that child's team, that lets that kid know that they matter in this world, help to plant seeds of hope, of promise, and make sure that they have every opportunity to achieve the American dream.
Very good. And of course, let us take our first commercial break here, Mr. Perry, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.